I want to talk about the difference between the facade versus the reality in terms of, you described it as the abuser saying, well, I do love you, I do care about you, and lying about the relationship and trying to say that what you want, it is what you want. But there's another layer of that too. In the article, Lauren's quoted as in the article by Mary, she says there are a lot of influencers who are not in good relationships who are still portraying happy marriages publicly and bashing people for not being married while being in horrendous relationships. So they're very judgmental and critical, condemning, and then they're also pretending. And so you have this lie that permeates outwards, and then with a public figure, you're going to have it more so. But I know there are situations just in a local level where it's like, wow, everything they were portraying, it seemed like they were happy and things were going well, and the reality was the opposite. And that's sort of a repeated story. But talk to us about the truth and the lie and the portrayal, the mask and the unmask, the double life,
Yeah.
the nightmare at home and the dream online on social media.
Yeah. Social media wasn't real big when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I've been exposed to it for the last probably 15 years as it's grown, and have watched. Social media is the Hollywood real. Everything is great. I have a wonderful life. I'm married. My husband is wonderful. This is our home. And everything looks great. I call that the mask.
Yeah.
I wore a mask for years.
Yeah.
I wanted, and it wasn't a social media mask.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a public mask. It was personal and with my friends and with my work relationships and all. Wearing the mask of looking really good on the outside, and everything on the inside was just destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Not being able to live from an authentic self because of what I was living in.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about that mask is that what we don't realize is that, well, I'm going to say two things. People who know see you wearing the mask.
Yeah.
They understand that. They know that. Also, until you decide to take the mask off and be real with yourself and be real with other people who love you, who are safe people, and I just want to emphasize that over and over and over, safe people.
Yeah.
But until you are at a place where you can just go, okay, I've got to be real with myself.
Yeah.
I want transparency. I want authenticity. I want to live from a place that is who I really am.
Yeah.
And living in this hell is not who I am and not what I was designed to be.
Yeah.
In.
Yeah. A TV show that came out based on a video game is called Fallout. And one of the main characters is these two main characters meet, and one of the characters does feel that shame because of he comes from this cultic, quasi-religious organization, and he doesn't meet the standards, and he's shamed regularly, and so he ends up in a situation where he gets to present himself as someone different. And so he starts to do that, and then he has some successes, and he meets this other character, and he tells this new character, and it's a female and a male, so it's like romantic relationship, but he tells her the lie. And so then as an audience person, you're like, just tell her the truth, and he's telling her the lie because he doesn't want her to know who he really is. And so it goes on through several episodes, and eventually he tells her the truth, and she just accepts him. She says, okay, that's who you are. That's who I wanted to meet. That's who I wanted to be friends with anyway. And it's a pretty powerful moment. And I think that's kind of, not everyone's going to accept you. So it's dangerous if you do it with the wrong person. But that acceptance is actually what we're looking for. And I think what you're trying to say is that acceptance comes first and foremost through our relationship with God, is that we do come before Him that way, as we are, and He accepts us, and and lifts us up,
Yes.
and when we take that step, then everything else that you're describing follows. Yeah.
That is the foundation for any relationship, I believe, and specifically as we're talking about in a husband and wife role.